I'd like to introduce everyone to Anna Burke. She's our Smith intern here at Blue Star, and she's really involved with the project. She helped the kids all summer to learn some things. Anna has a lot of horse experience, and I know the girls grew really close to her, and you actually made that video that everyone enjoyed very much with the girls and talking about the potential of Blue Star and what it's done for the girls and those kinds of things. It was a really good piece of work, and we really appreciate, all these things that you do. They're very creative, and I know you think really hard about sustainability and your future. So we're really grateful to have you with us, designing and developing this project. So Anna, what originally brought you to Blue Star?
Well, I think if you pan around the room for a moment and notice all of the dogs, I think that pretty much sums up.
All the doggies?
All of the background noise.
Oh,
All
yeah.
these dogs.
Yes, we do have a lot of dogs. And all of our dogs have handicaps. It's worth mentioning.
Yeah, I grew up around animals. I grew up on a small farm, a very small farm. And so I was looking for, something just to do over a January break last year, and I found this place, and obviously this is so much more than just something to do over a winter break. And I just, it really, my passions and my interests really fall in line with what Blue Star wants to do, and so it just made perfect sense to me. My dream is to one day have a small farm, horsepower, and, so this really, it was perfect for me, and I love all the projects that are going on, all the people here, all the horses, all the dogs.
Yeah. So when you first came, I remember meeting you, and I was really impressed with your energy. You seemed really self-motivated, and you seemed like a really good person to have, get involved. We really value people who can think for themselves and, direct themselves, and who can think in new and better ways to do things. Did you like that about Blue Star?
Yes. Yeah. I was a little intimidated at first. I was like, oh, okay, well, if I slack off, I will lose this opportunity. And I think that's part of what makes it the way it is and successful, is that you weed people out that way. If you're always giving people something to do, then, they constantly keep coming back and you don't go anywhere. It's important to stay really focused, and it is about hard work, that's for sure. We really all work very hard. And I know there's probably easier ways to do some of the things we do, but because of some of our limitations, this is what we deal with. So now, what is it that you offer to Blue Star? Like, what is it? How do you see yourself contributing? What are the things that you do? Well, I try to contribute as much brute labor as possible, but apart from that, I am in my senior year of college, so I have this college education freshly under my belt. I love the kids. I love working with the kids. I think that I've all gotten really enthusiastic about this other part of the project as well. It's not just about riding horses and hitting out the horses. I think it mostly is for them, but they're beginning to see the larger picture, and that's really exciting to watch. I would love to. I'm an English literature and art major, so there is the argument of what are you going to do with that, and there's so many things you can do with that, and especially working with a project like Blue Star, I can work on the website, I can make videos, I can design logos, so just it allows me to exercise everything that I'm interested in.
And you're a really good writer.
Thank you.
You describe, your experiences really well, and we all enjoyed reading your blogs this summer, and we can't wait to have more.
And I guess my hope is that, I really love the educational aspect of this as well, and so I want, ideally, to be able to spread sustainability and animal power agriculture and animal power in general, and just kind of open people's eyes in whatever way that I can, and Blue Star is definitely giving me a springboard for that, and I'd love to stay with them for as long as possible, and...
Well, we talked about keeping you forever, so...
Well, yes.
And also about, having a satellite farm where we
yeah.
can, help
help each other, develop a really good system for the kind of work that we do.
And I think what has been most powerful about this whole experience for me so far, and I think will continue, is that, a lot of my generation is kind of at a loss of what to do. The economy is terrible. It doesn't look like it's going to get better. There's this population control, the environmental crisis. Everywhere you look, it's just a crisis, and we're all a little kind of, not sick of it, but what are you supposed to do about it when everything's falling apart, it seems like. And I'm actually pretty optimistic. I feel like with Blue Star, I am doing everything that I can to try to improve my world. I wasn't going to go into government, and so I want to start at a small grassroots organization, and I found it, and I love it, and I feel really, that part of me is very at peace. I don't feel that anxiety anymore about.
Oh, that's really wonderful. Yeah. Wow.
And so I want other people to feel that too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I would say that's true for all of us. We found a way to be useful and do things that we love and make a difference, which, I think every human being wants to do something useful and make some kind of difference or leave some kind of legacy. And Blue Star is a great opportunity for all of us to do that. And, the way that we run the organization with, equal opportunity for everyone to speak and share their ideas. I think that's fundamentally what makes this a really special place. And that we're all volunteers.
Yes.
At some point, as this grows and becomes bigger, those of us that are in it full time obviously will have to have some income.
Wouldn't that be nice?
But it's not something that we count on now, and we're, our main objective is to get to that level of sustainability.
Sustainability in every way. Yeah.
Because we'd love young people to be able to do this full time, do what they love, grow really good food and use animal power and be conscious of the things going on in their communities and how they might get involved with their tools.
Yeah. And we really can supply tools to get involved. And you don't realize, I think I didn't realize what community could be to the fullest extent. And now I think I have more of an, I'm not saying I've experienced full community, but I can see what it could be like. Just, there are so many people coming around the farm, whether you want them to or not, but it's always ultimately a positive thing. It's just you don't love everybody in the community, but you love everybody. You don't like them all. And that's really important. It's really necessary to just have all these different ideas coming in, and I think we are really lonely without that, and most of us don't have that in our life.
Yeah. Which leads, the isolation that so many people feel in this culture leads to the depression and the distraction and, a lot of the underlying pain and guilt that we feel. We're in a culture that's so privileged, but we don't know how to be happy because the privilege comes with so much exploitation too. And, young people see that really clearly, and they don't want to be part of what hurts others, whether it be the environment or human beings, and they want to be part of something that is wholesome and good for the planet. So, we're really lucky to have this opportunity. And it started with the horses.
Yes.
So,
everything is.
Yeah, and that's something to keep in mind. I recently talked about how horses helped us in the past 6,000 years build our civilizations and, bring us to where we are. In the past 100 years, of course, we've broken off from that bond. But maybe this time around, in restoring the bond, maybe their work for us now is to help us do the inward work that helps us become the kind of human beings that are necessary right now to live in balance on the earth. So, what do you think about horses?
That's such what a question. I think, okay, so take a dog, for instance. A princess who wants the limelight. I think we have a pretty similar relationship with dogs that we do with horses. We've just kind of grown and developed with them since, prehistory. But we have a working relationship with horses, and I think we used to have a working relationship with dogs, but it's always been, your hunting dog might sleep in your bed, so they're more, horses are, in some ways, they're not pets, I think is the best way to describe it, and I'm learning about all these other kinds of relationships you can have with them, now that I'm working with working horses. They're very professional, they're very serious, they take their jobs seriously.
It feels more like partnership.
Yeah, it's more like a partnership, and when you realize that you kind of depend on them, that this whole new depth develops. But obviously, horses are beautiful. They're a lot of fun. They have great personalities. Some of them. Yeah, and they've always, been a huge part of my life, and they've always been a part of my father's life and my grandfather's life. So I think one of the few instances where horses come from like the patriarchal side. I think most people inherit it from it's like a girl thing, and that wasn't the way it was in my family. So they're just, they're really important to me. My horse here, he's the big fat spotted draft.
Who everyone loves.
Yeah, really.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been through some, I've been through some pretty tough times with that horse. He didn't contribute to them, but he's always been a part of that, so
He helps you through it.
Yeah.
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 And you have Henny.
Yes, and Henny Penny. And she and I have a very interesting, it's not something I'd want to talk about.
She's a strong female.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mares, they're fascinating.
Yes, they are.
So, what do you say about, asking people to get involved? Like, it's difficult. I wrote a blog last night about asking for help. It's a really loaded proposition. People don't want to be seen as needy, and that's certainly true for us in this organization. We don't want our horses to seem sad and pathetic, and
right. And it's not, I guess, what we're trying to do. And I have a hard time asking for help, for especially monetary help. But we're not trying to be a rescue for these poor horses. If that, we're trying to, we want the community to support something that the community should be supporting anyways. Mm-hmm. We've all, even if you don't like horses, we've all contributed to the society which has thrown them away in some way or another. Mm-hmm. And so it's not even about, it's about the horses, but it's not. It's about our culture of waste and throwaway, and it's not. I'm coming to realize that it really isn't that much to ask. We're not some nameless charity that you're gonna donate money to and never hear from us again. It's like you can, when you help, you see. If you want to see where your money goes, just come watch a horse eat its hay, because that's where it all goes.
Or get involved and be with that horse. Yeah.
And people can get involved. We offer I think we need the community support to continue for now. Hopefully, ideally, we'll be able to support ourselves with, by giving these horses jobs. But up until that point, it's like it's such an opportunity to help. We bend over backwards to introduce people to, the horses they help sponsor, and it's, it's a really powerful experience.
Yeah, and it seems that those who give are the ones that are the blessed ones, that something really, it's a wonderful thing to do, obviously, but also the wisdom that comes out of getting closer to horses is just amazing. There's no therapist that could give you that kind of valuable understanding and insight. My native friends compare them a lot to dolphins. Mm-hmm. They call them dolphins with 4 legs, and that has a lot to do with their natural intelligence and their sensitivity, and they're really good at getting us to be honest with ourselves.
Yes. Yeah, and they know exactly what's on your mind. I've had many experiences where, there are times when I really should. I feel like I should work with a horse, but if if you're not in the right place, you have to go do something else. Go shovel some manure, because they will tell you. If you're angry, they don't want to talk to you.
They don't want it put on them.
No.
Yeah.
And that teaches you not to put on yourself either.
Exactly. And then ultimately you start refining and you start becoming less of a drama queen
Well,
and
you
more of
learn
a
to-
person of purpose, you know, because you want to get things done.
Right, and so you have to put it aside.
And that's what's been beautiful about seeing the young people, the really young people
Yes.
involved here.
Yeah.
They're sidestepping now all that dramatic, you know, expression that they do in their teens, and you know they're really they're taking a different approach at things, and learning to communicate and learning to see things clearly, and learning to put others before themselves. And you know, at what better time in your life than when you're young?
Precisely. And they made me a delicious peanut butter Nutella sandwich today.
Yeah,
So
they.
they're learning important life skills.
Yeah. So, you know, Anna, thank you very much.
Oh, no problem.
I know personally I love you very much, and I know that you're really loved here by the horses and the people involved, and we really look forward to the things you're going to create with Blue Star and the contributions that you'll make. You'll be with us the whole month of January. So anybody that wants to meet Anna should come and schedule a sleigh ride. And yeah, I really, really, really am grateful for having you among us.
Me too.
Thanks.